Hello everybody, I'm Martin. Welcome to another episode of Minecraft Enigmatica 2 Expert. Today, we are not going to continue trying to make the creative tank like I had intended to. I thought we were about to make the last couple pieces, and then I looked at what was required to make them, and we need to go finish blood magic, because I did not do that. So that's what we're going to go do today. We are going to go hopefully finish blood magic, but we need a much bigger altar to do this. Because last time we had left off at tier 3, and we need to get all the way up to tier 5 because we need ethereal slates to finish out the creative tank. So I guess let's get started with the pieces we don't have, which requires a bunch of blank runes and some bloodstone brick, which requires weak blood shards to make. Which, if you remember from way back when we did this is one of the first things we had to go farm to get started on this. So I do have a couple in storage, which is all we really need to get started on this. You know, other than a whole lot of essence to make all of those slates with, and I probably should work on automating that. So I'm going to need to go make some changes here and possibly set up a farm so that we can have it murder villagers like a proper evil mage would. Alright, so I realized too late that you can't just do this, setting up automated user with the dagger sacrifice. I forgot that it doesn't work with any sort of automated user or any fake player at all. So I guess we're going to take the knife out of that and stab that guy, because we can't actually set up the Well of Suffering until we have a tier 4 altar. And until then, I need more. Thankfully, I believe the only penalty for killing villagers in 1.12 is that they stop breeding for a couple minutes. But I'm not breeding them, I'm cloning them. So fun times. You'd think I'd remember how any of this worked. I didn't have it close enough to the altar to actually sacrifice, but now it is. So let's say goodbye to my humanity. And there we go. Okay, so I've got all the runes made. It was kind of tedious. Thankfully, I set up the box here to automate blank runes a while back, so that helped out. And I moved my pure daisies back behind the altar here to make living stone to make them the slates with. So that's all done. Now originally I'd been planning on tearing down this altar and building up as I go, but I think I'm just going to build the last 2 levels down from here and hollow it out a little bit, maybe make this area a little prettier. I don't know, we'll see how lazy I am. I also realized I never explained what I did right here. Basically, if you put a lapis lazuli block over an imperfect ritual stone, you've got a weak ritual that makes it nighttime, or if it's already nighttime, rewinds back to the beginning of the night, and it's really useful for astral sorcery constellations. As you can see, as soon as I clicked it, there was a bolt of thunder and night started. And now you can see it's 11:36, 37, I redo this, we're right back to the beginning. Now, each use of this does consume some life points from your network, which, you know, murder some more villagers and we're fine, I suppose. But let me upgrade the altar to tier 4. Alright, and now the tier 4 altar is complete. It's just one more level down below it, 7 runes on each side, 28 total, and these columns are 4 high with the bloodstone bricks on top. Now I'm using jasper pavement tiles just because I think they look decent. You can actually use anything you want for decorative purposes here. But if we look at our blood altar here, we can now see that our current tier is 4, and we can add a whole bunch more upgrades to this, and I probably should convert some of these runes into at least storage if nothing else. Because as a reminder, we can make a whole bunch of these runes of capacity that aren't too hard. It's just buckets and another imbued slate to add more storage to our network. And I think that's probably what I'm going to do next, because I'm going to need some more space here soon, especially since we're about to automate some stuff. Okay, so I added 2 banks of capacity runes here to bring us up to about 54,000 capacity for life points. And we needed that because we needed 40,000 to be able to make the Master Blood Orb. So I suppose I'm going to go do that now. And Master Blood Orb obtained. Now that we have a tier 4 altar though, however, what I want to do is actually set up the Well of Sufferings so I don't have to keep killing these villagers myself. And actually I don't even want it to kill villagers at that point, because it just has to kill some nearby mobs, so I'll probably set up a cursed earth farm next to it. Now that said, to actually make the Well of Suffering, we're going to have to make the things that I haven't made yet over here. Because to even do it, we need a Ritual Diviner, and specifically the Ritual Diviner Dusk. But we're also going to need a weak activation crystal, and we'll probably want these other bits too. So let's start with the Ritual Diviner. And this one looks like it's scary and has a whole bunch of things we need to make, but it actually mostly needs these inscription tools. And the inscription tools are just a basic material on the altar. with a relatively low amount of life points. The only one that's even potentially scary for me is this one right here, the air one, because it requires a ghast here, and I don't actually have a ghast farm right now. But this is all still easily doable. So let me go put this together. Alright, so I made the first one, and if I turn the UI back on, if you shift right click, it goes through the various rituals we can do. But this, however, is not one we can do yet, because we still need to make the second one, which is slightly harder. It requires demonic slates, which we haven't made yet, which are just the tier 4 slates, so I just need to go grab 2 of these, which I think I have made maybe. And then these dusk inscription tools, which are just coal. So at least part of that's easy. But let me go get the slates made. Alright, now we have the dusk one as well. So now if we shift right click through to the ritual we want and we put the master ritual stone down, when we hover over it shows us all of the blocks we need to place. And we need to make quite a bunch of these to make it work. And it's all of these various ritual stones here, which if you click on, you'll notice there's no recipe for. If we go back into our inventory and go over to the vine and hold down shift, it shows us the exact rune count we need. Some of them were actually underground where I had the master stone. So we need to make these, and how we make these is with the same inscription tools we just made previously. So we need to make a handful of these and make all of these runes listed here. But we also need to remember that ritual stones are not entirely cheap to make because they require a reinforced slate per and half a salus mundus per, although we can get these from balls of fur, and I think I've got some in my ball of fur storage. I probably need to set up an automated activator for that. I did find out you can use a mechanical user to open those up. I just haven't hooked it up to any storage yet because I'm lazy. And frankly, I can continue to be lazy because I thought ahead and dumped a bunch of it in here to begin with. I just need to make a bunch of runes now. Alright, so I've got all of the ritual stones made as well as the markers. I'm probably going to have to make a couple more markers before I'm done, but you'll notice most people set up their wells of suffering above the altar when you go find videos or images of it. But the reality is it's actually made to be set up under the altar design-wise. It actually fits perfectly under it, space-wise, under a max tier altar. So I dug a hole down under my altar here, and I'm going to place the ritual master stone right about there. In this point, just like environmental tech machines, you can hover over it to see the pattern, and then just start right-clicking with the diviner, and it will fill it in. With the correct ones, it'll use up your markers as it goes. I'm probably going to run out of markers part way through, because I almost certainly don't have enough water ones. Or I might get lucky and it does work. And now we have this all completely set up, I believe. That said, to actually jumpstart the ritual, we need to do 2 things. One, we need 50,000 power in our life network to do it, which I've already done by placing my orb on top of the altar to let it charge up the actual life network. And we'll put the orb up there semi-permanently while the ritual is running to max it out. It currently holds about 1 million right now. And 2, we need to make the weak activation crystal yet, which is a lava crystal on the altar. And the lava crystal that we haven't made is just lava buckets and other stuff that we already have. That can just straight up be crafted. And with activation crystal in hand, we should now be able to start the ritual. And I didn't check to see that I had leftover ritual stones in my inventory. It has to be 4 down. Alright, now with the activation stone in hand, we should be able to right click the ritual stone and start it. And it begins. And we can see that it is hurting the mob up here. And constantly adding power to the blood altar. Now, we're not going to use this to power it, however. What we are instead going to do is turn this basement into a cursed earth farm, seal it up, and never look back. And watch a creeper explode part of it. Okay, that creeper really messed things up. It destroyed a bunch of ritual stones. I had to replace those and then restart the ritual. So it started back up. Let's go pop the torches out and be very, very terrified of what's about to happen, I think. And it looks like something's down there and it's leeching life out of it. So now if I kept this up, it should just constantly feed it. Yep, it's eating the zombie. Perfect. And now we seal up the misery factory and pretend it doesn't exist. Something's missing. There we go. I forgot to soundproof this. But now with the mob duplicator off, you can see per tick it's actually generating a decent amount of essence just passively. And if we toss the orb back in, it just gets put straight into our network. And if we bring the seer sigil out, you can see that I'm now sitting on 100,000. So this will build up over time, it'll be useful for other things. If I need to craft anything, I can just take this out of the altar, let the altar fill up, and we're good to go. Anyways, to wrap up today, I think we're going to do these last 2 items. The Ritual Tinker, which, as it says, lets you move the affected area of the ritual if I wanted to move where the mob farm actually was, so it wasn't right under it. And it just requires 2 demonic slates, which will take a little bit to make, but aren't hard. And to make the Awakened Activation Crystal, it's in the Hellfire Forge with 500 will, Infused Glass from Astral Sorcery, a Sky Spirit Ingot, an Ender Star from Actual Editions, which mostly just requires Dragon's Breath, and a Void Metal Block, which all of that is easy at this point for me. The one thing we might not have seen is the Infused Glass, which is just a couple glass lenses and some resonating gems inside the altar, but this is not hard. Whoops, you know what? I need to learn how to read. This requires a minimum of 2,000, which I can't actually store yet. So I think that one has to wait until next time we do blood magic. Anyhow, I at least made the Ritual Tinker. And on that note, we probably should grab up our loot boxes and see what garbage is inside them today, because I'm sure it's going to all be... Oh, another star for free, I'll take. More blocks. Ironwood, which is just insulting. Candles, which I don't need. Luggage, which I don't need. Jack-o'-lanterns that I don't need. And donuts, which I guess I'll take for free. So, pretty much the garbage we expected. But at least we caused some mayhem today, and actually got the Tier 4 altar done and automated life point generation. I didn't finish the chapter like I'd intended, but we did make good progress, yeah? Anyhow, if you found the episode interesting or entertaining, please consider leaving a like or subscribing if you're new. As always, I'm Ard. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.